3 things I'm promising not to do in 2025 that I drastically messed up on in 2024. Writer's edition / creatives edition, whatever you want to call it. Here are my large life lessons. I'm doing this off the cuff. I have no notes, which leads me to point number 1. In 2024, I was quite rigid with my expectations, with my approaches, with my creative exploration. I went into my pursuits thinking I'm a romance author. I am writing romance books. I want to promote them in a certain way. I want my books to sound a certain way. I had very linear and rigid expectations of my creativity, and that's gone. I'm not doing that anymore. Actually, I started this year writing poetry, which I played with previously but never took seriously. I always thought poets they needed like a certain command of language, and a certain command of musicality, and like structure that I assumed I didn't have. Poetry was always a little intimidating to me, and if I'm being honest, I think it has to do with a certain level of vulnerability that I didn't want to tap into, because it's a lot easier to hide behind characters for me, versus like giving myself a speaker in a poem and like really saying things that I want to say. We're doing it in 2025. And I'm really enjoying it. And I think it's helping all of my writing. It's helping. Oh my God, I have something in my eye. Are you serious? My battery is dying on my camera. I have something in my eye. And this is when I choose to make a video. Which I guess leads me to point number 2, because we're being quick. We're being quick this year. Point number 2 is I'm doing it afraid, doing it messy, doing it unexpected. By it, I mean creating, producing, putting things out in the world, not being selfish with the things that I make, and not doubting them, not being so rigid with the purpose, right? It is the purpose to create something so that it's successful, or is the purpose to create and share in hopes that, I don't know, I don't even know, that's something that's evolving, in hopes that question mark, to create and share so that question mark. Yeah, I'm convincing myself that is the approach this year. Not to create and share so that I can find validation or success or what have you. To create and share so that, perhaps this is it, to create and share so that I know I am fulfilling the desire that lives in me to do that. To create and share simply because I want to create and share, and because my being does not feel complete if I'm not doing that. Which sounds like such a cliche thing to say, but this is where we're at. I've been doing a lot of reading about astrology and numerology, and just realizing that as a Pisces, as a 6 in numerology, like I'm always drawn to creativity. I'm always drawn to artistic pursuits. I'm always drawn to interesting things and things that I think are beautiful, and emotions and fluidity. But also as a Pisces, there's that like fish moving in the opposite direction, because up until right now, I've doubted that, and I fought it, and I have questioned it and grappled with it and wondered if I should actually be doing these things. And I think finally in 2025, that's going out of the window. I'm not questioning. I'm making the video when I have something in my eye, when my battery is dying. I am, working on poetry, even though in my head I'm not a poet. I posted a video on TikTok yesterday, even though in my head I'm like, is TikTok going away? Does it matter? I could have so many questions. And I posted a video that had nothing to do with my books. It was just me like talking about how I found myself singing Say Yes by Floetry while doing the dishes. And I'm just ready to kind of let go of all of these expectations because they feel really stifling, and I don't like the feeling of being stifled. So that's thing 2. Thing 3 is the element of rushing. And I've had a very strong pull towards rushing in my life. I was born premature. I was ready to get this over with from the time I was in the womb. Okay, I was like, let's go, let's do this. I don't have time to wait 9 months. And I've been rushing for nearly 34 years now. I don't want to rush anymore. So I'm letting that go. This expectation of I have to do a certain number of videos. I have to post this many times. I have to write this many books. I need to be writing this so I can get it done faster. And then I always try to go faster and I end up burning out and like getting disappointed with myself. I don't want to do that anymore. I am embracing flow, fluidity, softness, slowing down, moving at a pace that feels good, valuing the fact that I want to move at a pace that feels good. I'm not forcing anything anymore. I just want to be authentic. I want to create with fluidity. I want to embrace honesty with a level of softness. Hence the rebrand on the channel. Catch it. If you haven't seen it yet, go look at the banner. I happen to think it's cute. It'll probably change because I like changing things up. But we're now called the Wild Soft over here. Live Wild Soft. And I think that embraces all of the elements that I want to talk about on this channel and the way that I'm learning to live. I'm not coming on here as an expert. And I think that is something that has stopped me in the past from making content and from, writing more books and doing all the things that I have a calling to do, because I've been like, is anyone really an expert? Like, people just get on the internet and they talk about things that they've read and they talk about things that they've seen other people do and they present it like, I'm the authority on this thing and here's what I know. I am exploring, I'm feeling, I'm failing, I'm learning, I'm trying something new. And I think what makes me want to share that and talk about it is that I see a lot of people in my life and people on the internet who are stuck in the maze of doing things the same way over and over again and expecting different results. And even me, I do that quite often. But I think where we really get ourselves into trouble is when we don't talk about those things and we don't have community around doing things differently, and we don't have intentional communication about how to make changes and intentional focus put on how we want to really live and who we really want to be. And I think if I can show up in a way that allows me to fumble through it publicly, I hope that it does a service for anyone who may be watching, so that you can also fumble through it and not want to give up, right? And be like, okay, in 2024, I did things in a way that I didn't really like, and let's try this again. And maybe this channel will give you some ideas on new things to try if you are interested in creating wildly and expressing yourself fully while not falling prey to all of the rhetoric that we hear about, like hustle and grind and exhaust yourself and put out so much content it makes your own head spin and please the algorithm and please your audience and make what people want to buy and all of this stuff. It's exhausting for me, and I think it lends to it's creating a bunch of tiny business people, not artists. And I don't like being a tiny business person. I like being an artist. That's why I started writing in the first place. And I want to bring that energy to whoever might need it. So Live Wild Soft is the new jam. And that's my plan for 2025 is to live wild soft.